Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, this puzzle came into us from Chris Moore, who says it's kind of like a minor miracle that it has a solution given the paucity of clues here. And I've got to agree, this is so empty, it's brilliant. Now, there are some rules attaching to these 6s and 9s, and there's more than one for each. So I'm just going to plunge in and explain the rules and then try and solve the puzzle. And then afterwards I'll mention some ways to engage with the channel. How about that? So we have to, this is normal 6x6 Sudoku rules. We have to place 1 to 6 in every row, in every column, and in every marked box. Now each clue, and there's only 2 of them, is an X sum, a sandwich clue, and a little killer clue. So I'm going to explain those. Thus, the X sum means it's the sum of the first X numbers it sees in its column, where X is the first such digit. So if that was a 2, it's counting 2 digits down here to get to 6, and that must be a 4. Looking up here, it's counting, well, I mean, that is going to apply to the 9 looking upwards as well. Now, it's also a sandwich clue, so it's the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 6 in this column. So wherever the 1 and the 6 appear, let's say the 1 was there and the 6 was there, these would be perhaps 2 and 4 to add to 6. So that is a clue to that as well. Again, in this column, between the 1 and the 6, the digits add up to 9. And it's also pointing to its diagonal and saying the sum of that is this number again, so it's 6 for those cells and 9 for those. So those are the rules. I'm just going to, you can try it on the first link under the video. I'm going to pile in and give it a go. You can come back and watch me solve it after you've had a go. Let's get cracking. So we've got a 6. The 6 clue is smaller. Those 2 digits add up to at least 1 and 2, and that one is at least a 1. So that's 4, which gives us 2 degrees of freedom. No, let's do the X sums first. So I said this could be 2, but it could also be 3. It couldn't be a 1 because that would only add 1 cell to get 1. So it's either a 2 with a 4 there or a 3 with a 2-1 pair there. Now, the X sum down here, this is better. If we entered a 1, we'd only be adding 1. If we added a 2, that would have to be a 7, but we're only using the numbers 1 to 6 today. If we put a 4 in there, the minimum for 4 digits would be 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that gets worse if you put a 5 or a 6 in. So that is definitely a 3. And these 2 digits now add up to 6, but they're either 2, 4 or 1, 5, and I don't know which. However, let's think about the sandwich aspect of this clue. Now that means that the digits between the 1 and the 6 add up to 9. So once you've taken out the 3, which is clearly not between the 1 and the 6, and the 1 and the 6, you've only got 2, 4 and 5 left. That must mean that the 4 and 5 are sandwiched between the 1 and the 6. Exactly those digits and no more. And that is going to tell us that this is not a 4-2 pair to make this 9 sum, because the 4 wouldn't be sandwiched between the 1 and the 6 then. So it's 5 and 4 that are sandwiched between the 1 and the 6. So the order of these has to be 1, then the 5-4 sandwich, and then 6. Then we can complete the column with a 2, and that's going to tell us that this digit at the top is a 3, followed by a 1-2 pair to make the X sum work. Now in this column, we move on to column 4, and we've also got to sandwich a total of 6 between the 1 and the 6. And again, we're using the digits 2, 4, and 5, because 3 is not in the sandwich, and only 2, 4, and 5 can be. Now, which of the digits from 2, 4, and 5 add up to 6? 2 and 4. So we're going to sandwich 2 and 4 between the 1 and the 6 in this column. And we can work out what way this 1, 2 goes. It must be 1, 2, 4, 6, and then we complete the column with a 5. Now, be careful here. We're adding this diagonal to be 9, and you're tempted to make this a 1 and a 3. But what if they were 2 2s? They'd be in different rows, columns, and boxes. That would be possible, but I've just spotted that this 2 is already used in box 4, so that can't be a 2. So they are a 1-3 pair. This one can't be a 1, so that's 3 and that's 1. The beauty of this puzzle is 2 of the features of both of these clues apply only to the column they're in. So the only feature that is then going to take us into columns 1, 2, 5 and 6 are these diagonals. And here, now we're adding up to 4 here. Now, that again, this can't be a pair of 2s. So it is a 1 and a 3, and that's a 3, and that's a 1. Just as we were adding up to 4 there. Now, why I think that's particularly pretty is if you didn't have a clue extending into columns 1 or 2, you could transpose columns 1 and 2 from the final solution with each other, and you'd have 2 possible solutions. But this has sorted that out. It's a very good idea. So we get a 1 there in box 1, and that's a 4-5 pair. The 3 in column 1, because of that, we know it's there. Then we can fill in 2 and 6. This is going to go very straightforwardly now. 4, 5, 2, 6, and column 2 is done. That's a 6 to complete its row. That's a 4 to complete its row. 1 and 2 go in there. 5 and 3 go in here. Now, I've got a 5-6 pair. That sorts out the 5-4 pair. And we're going to finish off with a 4 and a 2. And I mean, that really is very straightforward. Even with explanations, that's only taken me 4 minutes, 21 days. But I love it. I love how simple. It is a bit of a minor miracle. There are so few clues in a completely empty grid. Just 2 clues, one at the bottom and one at the top of the grid. There's a degree of absolutely glorious symmetry in how both of these clues columns begin 3-1 from opposite ends of the grid, and then you're playing with the numbers 2, 4 and 5 to make the totals to put in the sandwiches, and then you're left with a 3-1 combo that you have to place carefully to make up the little killer diagonal clues. It's a really lovely bit of work, Chris. That's very clever. Definitely worth presenting on the channel. Definitely worth presenting however short a video this turns out to be, but it does give me plenty of time to mention all of the other things that are going on the channel. So on our Patreon site at the moment, you can join us there, and for just $2 a month, you would have access to, at the very least, the Patreon reward for the month, which is the Paint by Numbers Institute's rather brilliant Japanese sums pack called Caroline's Halloween Adventure, special for October and very appropriate. And that is out there, and you can enter the competition until the 20th or just have a go at it afterwards. Loads of old puzzle hunts up there as well that you can have a go at, and lots of crossword and connections content on Patreon. Now, we've also got a range of merchandise on the site. You can follow the links under the video. And there's Sven's Sudoku Pad. Support that. It's the software we're using every day, basically. And it's a really good device. And Sven is a great developer. There's also all of our apps. Now, they don't feature 6x6 puzzles, but there are 3, I think, approachable Sudoku apps, including our latest. And they will provide up to 60 puzzles over time. 2 of them are complete already. 1 is on its way. And they are really good value for $5 or $6. No, in fact, I think for the approachable, it's 3, isn't it? Anyway, they're very good value indeed, by some of the world's best setters. And there are all the other apps, which do include Sandwich Sudoku, if you enjoyed that one. So thank you very much, as always. If you engage with the channel anyway, do like the videos. We appreciate it when you can do that. Or in other ways, you can support the videos by commenting. Do give Chris Moore some credit for creating this, or finding, maybe is the right word with a minor miracle, for finding this remarkable puzzle. I think it's very clever indeed. And there's also, I don't know, what else have we got to mention? Not a lot, to be honest, but it's just such a pleasure to be able to bring you puzzles like this that are so clever every day. We'll be back. Oh, let's mention that we do 2 videos a day. Simon does one at 8:30 UK time. I do one 2.5 hours later. And there's always more Sudoku or other pencil puzzles to do. And we'll be back with more tomorrow. I hope to see you then. Bye for now.